It's been a really good first 3 days. Yesterday we put on shoulder pads and so uppers, just shells as we call it. It was another good day of flying around and getting adjusted to fall camp and the tempo, those types of things. So I think it's appropriate to say that it's not we don't have 50 guys to choose from, but love the group of guys. It's a group that the hard work has shown. That's been going on since the spring, and with a couple of additions here this fall camp since the last time we laced them up. And so really like how that group's coming along, and got good depth there. The young guys and the new guys have really impressed with their ability to be able to execute. And then the older guys are better than they've ever been. The leadership that we're getting from Sexton and Taylor both, and the improvement that they have brought to the table. And then again, my feeling, it's the best. Yeah, I think we're executing at a really high level right now. Decision making is even better than it was. The guys around him are playing better. I think the offensive line is in a much better position than where we were in the spring. Some guys again injured that weren't here yet. I didn't mention Garrett Hatchett. He's done fantastic as well. Have the kind of balance that we want, both running and throwing the ball. I think that's got to be a position that is not a weakness. Last year, Stahl did a great job, but we just didn't have much behind him. So I think we're in a much better position that way. In between Bauer, Jake, Caden Helms, Devon Mitchell, Josh. That's a Cade McIntyre is really he's close to 230 now. He's done a great job as well, more comfortable through 3 days. That's a group that has had a real transformation from where we were over the last couple of years. His primary position is at corner, and he's done a nice job there. And then he's always had the ability. We've actually, the last 2 years, have worked him at multiple positions, but we haven't quite had the depth at corner that we're hoping that we have there, this fall. So, but he's got a really good skill set. He's smart. He's played a lot of football. He's really tough, and so he plays big. But corner's his primary position. But we have to, for us to be able to play at a really high level. And the freshmen have done a nice job. And but if you look at where we were, just again over the last 2 years, we've lost 9 scholarship safeties. So we've had to recruit a lot, and got to get them ready to play at a high level. But those guys have done really. Those 3 in particular, older guys, they have amazing. Again, just as a coach, I don't ever take it for granted just because we're in the same locker room. And I like guys wanting to compete. I don't want guys satisfied being behind another guy. That's the wrong mindset, the wrong attitude. Exactly opposite of what we want from our guys. I want ambitious, driven. I want to run out there first. That should mean something to these guys, and it does. But at the same time, man, they've got great respect and love and appreciation for one another. And for me, that's where the real growth happens. And where they're not looking over their shoulder, they're confident in themselves, and that's all led by Billy. Billy's done a great job with those guys. Peyton had an amazing play yesterday in a scheme that requires a certain technique. It's not just backpedaling, break on the ball. It's a real deceptive kind of scheme, and man, there's a lot of fundamentals that are critical that you have it down pat. And a year ago, he was pretty inconsistent with that, and so a small thing like that is just the progress and the maturation that you want from all of your guys, but sometimes it doesn't happen fast enough. And yesterday he was able to make a play on a ball that looked like a guy was wide open, and just makes an amazing play, and it shows his skill at catching the football, his ability to judge the football, and not only that, but just go attack it too, climb the proverbial ladder. He's got a ton of experience, ton of energy. His ability to connect to the guys is very natural. I think the players, hearing the players' real respect when we had the home run hitting contest down at the softball stadium, Hey man, players are hard to earn their trust. So it takes something like that. Man, he put a couple on a rope out, but he's a great teacher. Teaches the staff well. He's incredibly passionate about doing what he does, and so his ability to inspire and motivate, challenge is again, very natural, for us in this space. And then he's got a great group of guys, to work with, several 2- and 3-year players that have played a lot, and so there won't be there's same thing. There's not a tremendous. We need to have a result that's a hell of a lot different than what we've had in the past. But Doug's transitioned really, really well, and players really have a great deal of respect for him. It's been painful at times, and it hasn't happened near as fast as you would like it to. But I think we have 4 or 5 scholarship players that we're here, with our first camp, and everybody else is new, and so it's a reminder of that as you look around, and then you look out there, and I love the blend of, again, freshmen. Again, we have over 50 scholarship freshmen and sophomore on the team, with a great blend of seniors and guys that have paid the price and played a lot of college football. But it's just that there's a more assuredness, more depth of leadership, and I'm always careful. Sometimes one team isn't very good at leading. We haven't really experienced that. Some teams haven't been as capable to lead because they were brand new and trying to learn themselves. And but we've got more depth of leadership that has been intentionally developed, intentionally recruited, and our guys have worked hard at it, just knowing what to do in our systems, all of our different systems, and more comfortable. And the players can lead, so it's more of a player-led fall camp, more so than it's ever been. And so for me, now you got more levels of trust, and so overall you got more trust, understanding, assuredness in everything that we're doing, and more confident, football team as a result. Well, how would all of our fans feel like I was comparing ourselves to all those other programs? And I've never tried to compare myself, and never tried to compare, our locker room or our players or our program. So our standards, and again, I've said this a lot, stand, on its own merit, and the standard for excellence, what it takes to be a championship program, and what's it supposed to look like inside, foundationally, staffing, resources, facilities, roster, all of that. And that's where our focus is, and meeting the standards that we're looking for, what our expectations are to be, again, a championship program. So, is Texas a real rival? Is that something that has a lot of history and tradition? Does it mean a lot to us and a lot of people? You're damn right. It means a lot, and so we'll never downplay that, but don't want to compare our program. We don't need to. We're going to focus inside out, that golden circle, if you will, and and to me, we should, as a program, just like the best people and most successful people on the planet are people that are progressive learners, lifelong learners, and we as a program just continue to get better, adapting and evolving in a different climate and different circumstances will be really important, for us as a program, moving forward. And so from, the people that you're competing with for resources, what the expectations are internally. Now those will be real. And so I want to make sure, my job is to make sure I understand the opponent, the things that we're competing against, both, again, resources, facilities, roster. All of those things do matter, and that's my challenge for everybody. For us to control the things that we can control, and then us as a program and as a university that, we're giving ourselves to compete at a chance to compete at the highest level. And so we should, and are, very forward-thinking and progressively, understanding, where we stand up. If that's, improving our practice facility, compared to, we'd like to have, 3 or 4 of these practice fields, so we don't have to go all the way down to the rugby field, or have an indoor facility right here attached to our practice facility and our football facility, and there's an efficiency about that. Maybe you have an air conditioning unit in your indoor facility, so you don't have to walk through in 120 degrees, and there's a cumulative effect of that too if you're doing daily walkthroughs and recovery components and things like that. And so my job is to always push and challenge for us to give the best resources for our players and our staff, and then there's we do have to produce. That's an expectation in these offices and in that locker room for all of us. So, but for us, it's at the end of the day, it's for us to live up to our standards and fight and compete for those standards every day, and how we do what we do, how we practice, how we work, how we compete, how we recruit, how we build our own facilities, things of that nature.